This series examines the Tarot Major Arcana, the Marseille, Burdel, Scarabeo version. This part gives an overview of the first half of the full circle and the general meaning of each card. The first part of this series summarizes Tarot's history, how it evolved from a card game into a divination system and later into a tool for introspection. The second part shows how the 22 cards can be organized into a coherent structure based on the similarities between the depictions. Now we can begin our journey exploring each card of the full circle. The Major Arcana contains 22 cards. Cards are numbered from the first, the Magician, to the 21st, the World. The Fool is a special case. It may be unnumbered and sometimes placed at the end of the deck, reflecting the idea from related game traditions that a similar Fool's Luck card can win everything. In other decks, including this one, the Fool has the number 0. Taken together, the cards can be arranged along an elliptical path. The first 10 cards, from 1 to 10, form the upper arc. The next 10, from 11 to 12, form the lower arc. Within each arc, the imagery suggests 2 further subdivisions, so the overall cycle can be divided into 4 main sections. With its number 0, the Fool is not part of the circle. It represents the entry point, the step into the circle. The word number 21 stands beyond the circle. It depicts a higher level of existence, an entire circle in itself. As a sequence, the cards map major stages of human existence, from innocence and discovery, the Fool, to fulfillment and wholeness, the World. The Fool, number 0, marks the entry into the circle. Its general meaning is beginning a new life. As the dark suggests, this new start may be forced by circumstances, such as having to start again after a total failure. But it can also happen through Fool's Luck, a sudden turn of fortune that opens the door to a new world. What is certain is that the Fool stands alone in a relatively barren landscape and is compelled to move forward. There is no point looking back. Behind him there is nothing left. He must keep his eyes ahead. He has 2 supports. One is his staff, which helps him find his way while keeping the transience of things in mind. The other is a shoulder pole, a branch used to carry a small bundle of provisions, suggesting that he can obtain what he needs for the journey through the material world. The tassels indicate that a new life brings new possibilities, but the moment he chooses one path, he immediately loses one alternative, even though others remain. The Magician, numbered 1, is the first station within this cycle of human life. It portrays the most basic relationship between the individual and the world. In general terms, it says, we must activate ourselves. We must do something to gain a foothold in life. This can expand our possibilities. Guided by intention and at a certain cost, we must produce value in the world. The question, however, is whether these actions, which may look like magic to others, create genuine value, or whether they are merely a deceptive trick. The next 4 cards form a symmetrical system that maps the development of human actions in its environment over time. The High Priestess, or the Popess, number 2, in general represents learning. By acquiring the knowledge that came before us, we gain orientation and understanding that is a head start, so we do not have to rediscover everything from scratch. We can begin from a higher level. The Popess looks toward the past and directs her energy within the spiritual realm. Next, the Empress, number 3, shows one way of using knowledge, a more responsive kind of activity. Indirect actions, but meant to make improvements. She looks ahead and is active in the material world with the aim of developing it, representing and nurturing values. Following the medieval logic, the Emperor, number 4, signifies active engagement and control. The Emperor also acts in the material world, but here the emphasis shifts to maintaining an established system and preserving values. The goal is to keep a good system functioning. At the summit of this four-card structure stands the Pope, or the High Priest, number 5, whose general meaning is teaching, giving guidance. He represents the values of the spiritual realm. He looks forward. In the world, his influence is transmitted through his disciples and followers. The next 5 cards, the second half of the upper arc, form a mirror symmetrical structure. Its axis is justice. The Lover's card, number 6, is often read in divination as the arrival of a new relationship, but its meaning is much broader. It concerns the choice between superficial attraction and genuine value. The central figure stands between two women. The woman on the right is more alluring. She draws him physically and seems to hold his heart, his basic instincts. The other woman embraces his entire upper body, trying to hold him back. She is presented as more realistic and stable, more generally as the partner for life. We can see that the usual forces of the world have been overruled. Cupid represents a surge of physical desire beyond ordinary measure, pushing it into the foreground. Next is the Chariot, number 7, often read as triumph and success. In fact, it is a chariot drawn by 2 horses which pull in different directions. Its general meaning is therefore the need for stronger control in order to move forward. Without it, failure is inevitable. The image also echoes Plato's famous metaphor. The hardest form of control is aligning higher spiritual aims with the instinctual drives. At the center of this section stands Justice, numbered 8. Her force separates truth from falsehood. The scales symbolize a perspective beyond personal opinions. From the viewpoint of the totality, justice conveys spiritual will. In general, the card signifies that our decisions and actions will be judged from an external standpoint, measured against truth itself. Next is the Hermit, numbered 9. Here the protagonist leaves everything behind except 2 essentials, a lamp to help him find his way and a staff to support him as he walks the road. Its general meaning is focus. He must concentrate exclusively on what truly matters. The wheel, numbered 10, is generally understood as a wheel of fortune. Here, however, fate is not merely accidental. The creature on the left, although it has created certain values, has become dominated by materialistic will and therefore forced into the depths. The creature on the right is still guided by realistic intention and by true values, and so it rises. Fate as a sphinx, a man-eating chimera, controls these changes, measuring qualities with the sword of truth in his hand. With card 10, we reach the end of the upper arc of the circle. The next part explores the second half of the full circle and the general meaning of each card.